Guys, I hope you're having an awesome day. I guess it's morning right now. We are going to be talking today about the fossil record. And we're going to be learning a little bit more about fossils. To start us out, we are going to be watching a video that's going to give us a lot of super cool information about fossils and how we've kind of learned about our world through time. All right, so here we go. Fossils rocking the earth.
How do we know that two species are related if their common ancestor is no longer alive? How do we know what happened on Earth before humans showed up? Sometimes the answers to questions like these are right beneath our feet. Look in the right place and you'll find fossils, traces of organisms that were once alive and that with time were preserved, usually in rocks. And here's the remarkable thing.
When we get fossils out of the ground, they have features that are shared with features found in living organisms.
So tucked away inside rocks that are thousands or millions of years old, we find fossils of bones and shells and leaves that resemble those in organisms alive today. They give us a record of how life on Earth has changed over time.
And we're going to kind of talk about that part today. So he kind of moves down in those layers of rock and we can see older and older fossils the deeper we go in the earth. We're going to talk about that in the fossil record after we finish this video.
It's not complete, however, because not all organisms get preserved and not all fossils get found.
So the more of these fossils we have that we can place on the tree, the more it tells us of when different features of organisms evolved.
Pull a fossil of a dinosaur femur or thigh bone out of a rock layer that's, say, 68 million years old, and you know that dinosaur must have lived about 68 million years ago, and you can compare it to the femurs of animals both extinct and alive today, which will give you an idea of how those organisms are related, and how the femur in particular has been adapted to suit new organisms in new environments over and over again. The fossil record provides strong evidence for evolution. It shows us that evolutionary change tends to be gradual. It gives us physical proof of extinction and of single species splitting into two. And it contains creatures that are transitional forms between one group of species and another. This is where you're being sent now, to a place where living things become rocks, and those rocks become clues that tether the ancient Earth to the modern one. Prepare to dig.
All right. So with that being said, we're going to talk about some fossils still. We're still working on this same standard that says I can analyze fossils within a rock formation to determine how landscape has changed over time. So we're looking at how the landscape has changed over time. We're looking at those fossils to see how animals might have changed over time. All right, so today we're going to talk about the fossil record. What exactly is the fossil record? Well, here's the definition. It is all the known fossils and their placements in the formation of rocks and positions in time. The fossil record is evidence of evolution of plants and animals and their extinction. Okay, so I want you guys to look at this here of all the known fossils. So these are fossils that paleontologists have found and been able to place them in certain periods of time because of where they are in rocks. All right, to find fossils, there are some different things that people can do. Here's a picture of some people digging into the earth. And the deeper they go, the older fossils they will find. So if they found one up top on this layer, it might be a little newer than something found a little bit down here on the hill. But the deeper you go into the rock, the older the fossils are. I thought this was cool because you can kind of see here, people are actually digging deep into the earth. But a big way that we find fossils today is when a river has cut through layers of rock, like this picture in the Grand Canyon. Okay, so this canyon has been formed and you can actually see how deep the layers of this earth go. And a river slowly over time weathers the rock and digs deeper down into the levels of Earth. And that's where we can find new fossils, especially those older ones that are deep, deep down in the Earth's surface. So here is a little picture of, this is like when we talk about the fossil record, you can look at a picture like this. Okay, so they've kind of picturized layers of dirt. So here's a layer of dirt. Each little chunk is a layer of dirt. And you can see here, the top is the younger, the bottom is the older, and you can kind of look up to see the creatures that kind of existed. It looks like we have a lot of shells moving up here and where they existed in time. So this fossil right here is going to be closer in time, be a little newer than the ones that like plant fossil that I found down here. Here's just another picture of kind of how our fossil record works. We have itty bitty organisms, maybe some shells. Thousands, millions of years later, we have some fish come into play. And then, oh, look, we still have some shells and we still have some fish. And now we have some lizards, some reptiles. Okay, and then our next layer, we found a dinosaur fossil. We might have found some footprints. We still have some shells. Maybe, a bird has appeared. That wasn't there before. And then our top layer, we have more of these mammals we know, like giraffes and rabbits and birds. So this kind of shows how the land and creatures have changed over time. And here's just another picture of a fossil record you might see with our oldest rocks, newest rocks, time kind of going like this. And you can look and find fossils, and you can make discoveries about how the land has changed over time. For example, I know, well, this looks like almost like a little leaf fossil. So maybe this here was, this was like a forest or an area where there was a little bit of trees. Then maybe millions of years later, the land has changed, and I'm finding shell fossils, little trilobite fossils. So I'm thinking, now it would be an ocean landscape. Thousands or millions of years later, okay, we're seeing, now I have some fish fossils. So it's still a water landscape. Maybe it's not an ocean, but maybe we're in a really big sea or something like that. But I can make these predictions about how the Earth has changed over time from this same area. I'm not moving to a new location. This is one place in the ground. Then I come up even newer layer of fossils, and I can see, we have some legs. We have maybe some lizards. We have some reptiles. So now I can see, okay, my land has changed I shouldn't say not only. It used to have fish and shells, and now it has changed to more of a land type of environment. So I've known we've went from a forest to an ocean, and now we're maybe at like a swamp or a creek. And then last year we have like a little skeleton. It looks like a mammal's kind of skeleton head with like also a land creature's fossil. So now our newest environment, what it was most recently, was probably land. Maybe it was a forest or a plain, something where some of these creatures might live. So this is what paleontologists do, but instead of studying a picture, they're actually digging up, finding these fossils and figuring out where they go in the fossil record through landscape and time, which is pretty fun. All right, guys, now you all get to be little paleontologists, and I want you to go to this activity in your, oh no, I lost it. Let me click on it right here. There we go. You're going to click on this link in your Google Classroom, and you're going to be a super fossil finder. You get to excavate and dig to uncover ancient fossils and place them on a timeline. So check your answers at the end and learn about dating techniques in different time periods. All right, so you're going to read about this little dinosaur guy. He's so cute. You're a new paleontologist. You're here to examine a dig site. You're going to dig rock and find fossils and then date them using relative dating techniques. Don't worry, though, I'll be here to guide you along. At the end, we'll use the radiocarbon dating to check your answers and see how you were close to dating them all correctly. Tap or press any key to continue. All right, so I would make sure you are reading over here to the side, and then you're looking here at the fossil record, the different periods in time, and then you get to click. And when you click, you actually get to dig into the fossils. So you'll get a fossil, and I'll say, this was found in the first layer of the dig site. Drag it to see where you think it goes on the timeline. All right, well, I know it goes on the first layer, so it's going to be on the top layer. I'm going to look and see what it is. And so I'm going to move it up here to my top layer. I think that one's right. I don't know. We'll check there at the end. And then I'm going to click and try to find some more fossils. All right, now it's your all's turn. You can go ahead and go to your Google Classroom, and you can play around and practice being a paleontologist. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow for more fossils. Have a great day.